Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Minerals Live. Steve and I are here today.
We're excited to be with you.
Yep. We've got new and improved software. You'll hopefully see an improved picture quality today.
Yeah, the turntable imagery looks really good today. Richard's still photos always look good, but the imagery on the turntable actually is improved, and you can see the beauty of specimen number 1 right here.
There it is.
Yep. And we'll talk more about that in just a moment, but it looks really good.
Yep.
Yep.
So we're trying here for you folks.
That's right.
Yep. We've got our IT team working hard to make Minerals Live a little bit better every day.
That's right, and we're happy to be on with you again this week. Richard's picked 6 super mineral specimens today. We've got all sorts of activity around the Collector's Edge. Certainly our website has been doing gangbusters with the final call.
There you go.
You are definitely going to want to check this out.
Yeah.
I think Phil loaded like 100 pieces.
Yeah.
100 pieces into Final Call. All brand new pieces, all slash 75% off the sticker price, and there are some bargains out there.
Yep.
I mean, literally, folks, we have dealers coming in and buying from Final Call for future use in their businesses. So the prices are good. The quality of the specimens is great. I mean, they've all gone through the Collector's Edge laboratory to be properly cleaned and properly trimmed.
Right.
They're beautiful specimens, and we're offering them at a tremendously low price. So I think you'll definitely want to go into www.collectorsedge.com, go to the page that says Final Call. It's in red up there at the top of the page on their navigation on the website, and you'll definitely want to check that out. These are some older images of things that are on the site, and this is kind of what it looks like when you're out there. But there's 100 brand new pieces out there, and they are flying off the shelf. So please feel free to go take a look. Phil is packing rocks just as fast as he possibly can. So he has never had a bigger group of packages yesterday.
The post office likes us.
It was like a pallet load of shipping boxes going out to customers who have happily ordered things from the Final Call on the Collector's Edge website.
Absolutely.
So we would love to have you take a look out there and see what's there. The 6 specimens we have here are very reasonably priced and great quality pieces. Richard always goes through the retail inventory and picks things that are really super quality, well crystallized. You'll be very pleased with these pieces when you get them. And, we're doing a lot of other things on the web. We haven't really announced this one aspect of what we're doing out on our reserve website. If you go to reserve.collectorsedge.com, beautiful website, but we have the ultimate Sweet Home Mine gallery out there, and this is something you can participate in. If in your collection you have a Sweet Home Mine rhodochrosite that you'd like to add to the gallery, there's a page on the Reserve website that'll lead you through and let you upload your image along with who the photographer was of the piece, and a little bit about the piece, what its size is, what pocket it came from, if you know the pocket name, and we'd be more than happy to add your rhodochrosite specimen to the ultimate Sweet Home Mine gallery. We've gotten a lot of submissions from museums around the world and from private collectors around the world, and we're just about, I think, when we get tied up with a few of our sales activities that we're going to be having over the next month or so. We're going to really start sending out a broadcast to all of the collectors around the world to encourage them to send in their roto photos. This is going to be it's really kind of cool because we're seeing specimens from each pocket from the Sweet Home Mine and also from the new Detroit City. If you've acquired a specimen that's great from the new Detroit City mine, please feel free to send that in as well. The Detroit City portal, we've got those pieces going in as well as the classic Sweet Home pieces. And this is a place that we've never really had this before, that we will chronicle what actually came out of the mine over the 14 years that we were mining in the original mine. And we've actually been working since 2016.
That's
I think
right.
we kicked off up at the Detroit City portal at the Sweet Home Mine. So much history and production of mineral specimens was had here at Sweet Home. So we'd love to have yours specimen become a part of the Ultimate Sweet Home Mine Gallery.
Right.
So feel free to take a look at the reserve website, send your image and the details about it in, and I think you'll be very happy to be a part of that ongoing effort to build a comprehensive gallery of what came out of the Sweet Home.
Right. Now, this is just the regular mineral gallery, but the Sweet Home gallery looks very similar.
Yeah, it looks very similar in layout, except there aren't tourmalines and...
Sure,
and,
it's all rotos, like the one in the top right corner, right?
It's rotos and
Little
things
detail,
that we find along with them.
Yeah.
If you got, one of the things we haven't had a lot of submissions, people have gotten great Huebnerite specimens, great fluorite specimens, great pyrite specimens out of the Sweet Home. We'd love to have those in as well. It doesn't just have to be sweet rhodochrosites.
Right.
We want wonderful Sweet Home Mine specimens that represent the history of what came out over the years at the Sweet Home Mine, and we'd love to have your specimen be a part of this gallery.
Absolutely.
So feel free to send those in to us, and we'll put them in right away.
Yep.
Yep.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
There's over 4,000 pieces out there. This could be
this
could be interesting.
It could be a big gallery. We're up to about 33 right now, and we intentionally started by asking public museums and key collectors that had some really impressive pieces, so that we had some nice anchor pieces in the gallery.
Right.
And we'd love to have everybody submit their wonderful rhodochrosites to us for the gallery.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Don't be intimidated by what you see. Please send in yours.
I mean, there might even be one from somebody sitting next to me or two. So there's some great pieces out there.
Yep, really nice. It's a lot of fun. Our new reserve website is really a great place to go, not only to look at eye candy, but there's a lot of good information there as well. So
thank you. Yeah, so today we've got 6 specimens.
We do.
And we're delighted. One of the other things we should mention, I suppose, before we get into the specimens, is we are kicking off very soon. If you're a dealer, or you have, if you have a, a gift shop or a rock shop, or you're on the internet and you want wholesale minerals. I know with the downturn in access to mineral businesses due to the coronavirus.
Shows and whatnot.
The shows are closed down, and some of the wholesale venues that we usually sell, hundreds of flats to dealers from around the world, you can't get access to these flats right now. We're putting together a wholesale website. This is going to start in the next few days.
Yeah.
And all of our dealers who like to buy from us for their businesses, you'll have a place to go and shop through our wholesale inventory of mineral flats. And I encourage you to do that. Take a look at it. It'll be what'll be wholesale.
Well, yeah, have to have a wholesale license or resale license in order to register and log in.
Right.
So, but we were talking yesterday at the meeting that Brian, and I, everybody was talking that right after launch, all 50 flats are probably going to be gone within a couple of days. And Brian was like, good.
Yeah.
We'll get more loaded on as quickly as possible.
Yep. And so we've got the manpower all geared up to deal with the packing and the rush and the order generation, and we're really excited to give we have huge number of customers who buy wholesale materials from us for their businesses, and we've really been shut off from each other for a series of months, so it'll be good to have a way on the internet to be able to get together.
Absolutely. Since the warehouse opened a couple weeks ago, they've been busy.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of internet business going on right now.
There sure is.
So the rocks are selling.
Yeah. Anyway, let's look at some pretty rocks.
All right. Want to go back to specimen number 1?
Let's go back to specimen number 1.
Got a little preview of that, actually.
Yeah, no, I mean, people are going to love this piece.
Yep.
We were really fortunate on a number of occasions over the last decade or so to get some significant quantity of specimens from South Africa, from Namibia, and other countries in southern Africa. And one of the coolest styles of quartz that comes out of this region in South Africa is from an area called the Bokenhouthoeks area in South Africa. And it produced what they called spirit quartz or cactus quartz. And this is a great example that Richard is showing you here. What goes on here is that you've got a prismatic crystal with a typical termination on the crystal, but then on the prism faces, they've been covered with a druze of smaller quartz crystals, and in this case, they're amethyst. Many times at this location, you've got colorless milky quartz, you have citrine quartz, and you also have the amethyst quartz as well as smoky quartz. But the most prized, of course, is the beautiful amethystine colored quartz, and this one's got a nice mid-range color. Right. It's not the deepest of purple that you see from the Bokenhouthoeks area, but it's quite a lovely piece, and aesthetically it's just beautiful.
Yep,
and it really shows off this cactus style of crystallization that's going on here with this cactus quartz. Just beautiful example of the material from there, and this is a wonderful size piece. What's the size of this one overall, Rich?
It measures 7 by 8 by 5 centimeters.
Right.
Yep.
So more than 3 inches across,
right,
and almost a 3 by 3 inch piece. A wonderful small cabinet size example of the quartz variety amethyst from Bokenhouthoek. And I would strongly encourage you to take a look at these. You know, they were relatively abundant for a while. Did this come out of Uli Bauman's collection?
I believe it did, yes.
Yeah.
I'll double check that. Just says AC quartz, probably, though.
Yeah. We've gotten
Several
lots
batches
of these over the years,
right,
but we got a number from Uli Bauman's collection, and this one does not say that it was specifically from his collection, so it may have been from one of the other lots that we got. But it's really three-dimensional. I love the architecture of this piece.
Yep.
So many of them, they're smaller peaks of the individual prismatic quartz that went up. And these are nice and long. The longest of this measures 4.3 centimeters in length.
Right.
So not quite 2 inches, but quite a long cactus quartz crystal here with good color. And I would say that, in my mind, the color is somewhere in between the still photo. You know, whenever you're taking still photos, you're under studio lights. I think we use daylight compensated CFL light. And then in here, we're just under fluorescent tube lighting. Right. So there's a little bit of a difference in lighting, but the color when you get this piece out of the box is going to be somewhere in between what you saw on the turntable and the individual photos. But the luster is fantastic on this, and you can tell as it goes around on the turntable, every one of those little terminal facets on the druze of quartz is just sparkling at you. So
absolutely,
really a lovely piece. And what are you asking for this one today?
It's just $650.
Yeah,
that's a significant discount off our label price.
It really is. And these were relatively abundant 5 to 10 years ago, and they've really dried up. I think they have ceased much of the mining activity here, but still these are classics out of South Africa.
Right.
So if you don't have one and you have a nice quartz sub-collection, you definitely want to jump on this one. A small cabinet piece for only $650. Lovely piece.
Right. There we go.
Yep. Very pretty.
Sorry, still getting used to the new software.
That's quite all right. The next piece we're going to look at is also a quartz. And it is similarly interesting in its crystal morphology.
Right.
It's these came out again, I would say, at least a decade or so ago. This is from the Shangbao mine in Hunan province in China, and they're associated with pyrite as well as this kind of gray-green. There's a little bit of green hue to me in it, but it's. Would you say it's largely gray in color?
Gray, green, maybe hair, a hint of blue. I don't know.
Okay, kind of gray-green, and there's an abundant amount of pyrite, especially down towards the matrix, but also intergrown with the quartz, and it's a very architectural piece, super sculptural. This it is looking really cool on the turntable too. You're gonna love this piece on the turntable.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The close-up photo there is great, and this one is too. Look how architectural and sculptural that is. Just an incredible piece. I mean, that's the beauty of nature. You look at these things, and that's what attracted me to it, is the colors that you get with them, the interesting crystal forms, the association with various species. You've got beautiful cubic pyrite crystals that are highly lustrous and nice and brassy on here. You can see it on the turntable, how nice those pyrite crystals are.
Right.
And then these amazing divergent parallel groups of quartz growing into like a single. I don't know what. How would you describe that shape? It almost looks vegetable-like to me, like like a bulb of some sort. But
the head of a paintbrush.
It's like the head of a paintbrush. So just an incredible sculptural appearance, very, very aesthetic, and these did not come out in huge quantities. There was a pulse for maybe a year and a half,
correct,
2 years at the most, when these came out, and then they all evaporated. And, because our inventory is so deep, Richard is able to go into the inventory and get some really great pieces. And this thing's big, folks.
Right.
I mean, this isn't a small specimen. What's the size of this one, Richard?
This one's 9.7 by 7.5 by 7.5.
Yeah.
Really good
so
size.
3 by 3 by almost 4.
Right.
So a really impressive quartz. I tell you, if you love quartz and the diversity of its crystallization and its color and the associated species it occurs with, you want to both specimen 1 and 2. You're going to want to jump all over them. This thing's freaking beautiful, and it's a really good size small cabinet piece. If you got a Chinese collection and you never bought one of these, you can't go wrong with this piece. It's really attractive. There is very little translucency to this quartz. It's mostly a kind of a milky style quartz, but it is highly lustrous. So you've got the lustrous cubic pyrite, and you've got the lustrous complexly crystallized quartz, and it's really a stunning mineral specimen. And Richard's offering this at a scream of a price.
Typical Minerals Live, $575.
Yep. And don't forget, the best way to get this tied up so somebody else doesn't get it, as soon as you can, go ahead and send an email to minerals@collectorsedge.com and let Richard know that you want specimen number 2 or specimen number 1, or both. And he will wrap those up and send them out to you at no cost to you on the outbound leg. We send it out to you free of charge. And I think you're really going to love either one of those first 2 specimens. Incredible pieces and very affordably priced. So take a look at those. On that quartz, the longest of the quartz was 6.7 centimeters in length. So, and the biggest pyrite was 8 millimeters across. So that was a really large and attractive specimen. $575 on that quartz.
Yep. We're back.
Yeah.
And ready to go on.
And we're going to stay in China.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
I thought this piece was cool. I couldn't resist grabbing it.
Yeah, it really is good.
Having a look around the microphone here. Maybe I'll just move it.
Yeah, that's fine. We've been very fortunate with the abundance of minerals that we have been able to acquire over the years from China. And when minerals started coming out from Inner Mongolia, we were really, really fortunate. Graham spent quite a bit of time up there and tried to secure as many lots as we could from the mine sites there. This one is from Inner Mongolia, China. It's an arsenopyrite. And, you get arsenopyrite from all over the world. But to get one with this sort of overall beauty and aesthetics is just amazing. It's like it's crystallized in like a fan of these really sharply crystallized, and there's multiple fans on here, kind of parallel growth crystals, and just incredible aesthetics. This is another one of those that came out for a while out of a big pocket or two, and then they've pretty well disappeared. They've got wonderful luster. You don't see any degradation in this as a sulfide mineral. Sometimes you'll see a little decomposition in over time in sulfides. This is mirror bright, and it's just super crystallization, and it's really three-dimensional. It's like perfect in 360 degrees. It's completely crystallized all the way around. It's an amazing mass of arsenopyrite crystals, and forming these lovely sculptural fans. Really, really pretty. I think, what's the size of this piece, Rich?
It's 9.5 by 7.5 by 6 centimeters.
Okay, so almost 4 inches high, and 3 inches across. Just a really wonderful piece, and you can see as it goes around on the turntable. That's the beauty of having the turntable, because the still photos show you how lovely this is, but you don't get the overall sense of aesthetic beauty of these until you see how complex they are in their crystallization.
I'm not even going to bother with my still pictures except for the price. After this, it looks so good on the camera now.
It really does. It's extremely impressive. Yeah, and you can see as it's turning around on the turntable there how bright that luster is. I mean, it's a bright metallic luster with no discoloration. I mean, it's vibrant silver color and strong luster on those, especially on the edges of those fans. Really, really attractive.
So here we come.
Here we come.
Just $675 today.
And I tell you what, folks, you would expect to pay $2,500 to $3,000 for a specimen this good from this locality. The arsenopyrite from Bao League in Inner Mongolia, China. And I don't know if this was part of the Wangong mine complex.
That's what the label does say.
It does say it's from. Okay, just it says it's Bao League, and then
maybe it's a different piece.
Yeah. So anyway.
Oh yeah, it was this one. The one that's coming up next.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah. Really, we got it at about the same time as stuff started coming out from the Wangong area, but there were numerous mines in that area, so it could have been from a different shaft. But in that general area within Inner Mongolia. Just a beautiful specimen, folks. I mean, you can't go wrong with anything on today's show, but the first three have just been really killer so far.
Let's see if we can keep it up.
Yeah, I think you can.
Okay. Let's move on to specimen number 4.
Yeah. You know, I loved these so much when they first came out. I had never seen fluorite with this particular shade of blue color. It's almost like an indigo blue. It's really deep blue color, super highly saturated. But what's so cool about these? Oh, that turntable picture is going to be killer. When you guys see this turntable picture, you're going to be ordering. You're going to be sending Richard an email at minerals@collectorsedge.com. And especially when you see the price on this one, you're going to go, oops, that one's gone. This is fluorite on quartz from the number 4 mine at Wangong deposit in Inner Mongolia, China. And these are also amazing, not only in the lighting you see within our studio area, but also you get these outside, and there is a little color shift with them. In under artificial light, they're this kind of indigo blue. It's almost like, in some ways, it's close to a Cavensite blue. It's not too far off. It's not identical to it, but it's not too far off. And then you take it outside, and it becomes often a blue-green color. So they're really cool, and they're very complex crystals. You can see as Richard shows you the close-up, they sort of wanted to be a nice cubic crystal, but the stresses and pressures and temperatures of crystallization, they've kind of got rounded edges on all of these fluorite crystals. They're not really perfect cubes, and they're not really perfect combination of the octahedron in the cube. They want to be something like that, but they're slightly bowed out and slightly rounded. They're incredible crystal morphology. I think they're beautiful. And the other thing that sets them off really nicely, and Richard is a freak for having matrix on all his mineral specimens.
Yes.
So this is one that Richard could have in his collection. It's got wonderful milky quartz matrix. The quartz tends to be solution etched to some degree, so it's not. This one I did catch a little flash off one of the faces, but typically these aren't particularly lustrous quartz. I don't know how this one is, Richard, when it's up close.
It's matte.
It's kind of more matte,
right.
satiny.
Yep.
So the quartz has undergone some processes in its life that kind of maybe took away some of its luster, but it's stark white.
Yes.
And so you have this stark white quartz crystal, prismatic quartz crystal, covered with these indigo blue, almost cavensite blue fluorite crystals, which have a real weird morphology. So I think you're just going to love this piece. And what's the size of this guy, Richard?
This one measures at 5 by 9.5 by 5 centimeters.
Yep. So again, a good small cabinet-sized piece, which is with its length just under 4 inches across. And it's a wonderful thing. The largest of the fluorites is 4.7 centimeters tall. And did I say fluorite? I meant quartz, if I said. Okay, the largest of the quartz is 4.7 centimeters, and the biggest of the fluorites is 1.4 centimeters across. And so this is not a trivial size specimen at all, folks, but the price is rather trivial.
It's
you are going to love this. Get ready to send an email.
Right.
Send it to minerals@collectorsedge.com. Tell them you want specimen number 4 because it's going to go fast.
I'm not even saying the price.
$190.
People got to be paying attention.
$190, folks. And one of the things I would encourage you to is because we broadcast this on a weekday in the morning.
Right.
And so it of course, if you're on the East Coast, it's just after lunch.
Right.
But honestly, don't think if you're watching it 2 days from now in the evening that each and every specimen is gone. A lot of the specimens will be gone, but there's no guarantee that each and every one of them will be gone by that time. A lot of people watch them in the evening when they have time on Minerals Live. So if you really love that fluorite, don't hesitate. Send Richard an email. Sometimes he'll have to tell you, gee, it's already gone, but at least you'll have had your shot for only $190 to get a small cabinet fluorite on quartz from the Guangdong deposit in China.
Right.
It's really lovely, so don't hesitate. Minerals@collectorsedge.com. Go ahead and reach out to Richard.
Yep. And a hint on occasion, if it is already gone, I'll try to find you something similar. Can't guarantee the same price, but I'll try to find you something similar.
Right.
So
that's great.
Yep.
Can't do better than that.
I try. Specimen number 5.
Specimen number 5 is a really interesting fluorite from Yaogangshan Mine, Hunan Province, China. And this is a mine that for about 2 decades was extremely prolific with absolutely amazing fluorite specimens. It's sort of like China's equivalent of southern Illinois deposits.
Right.
You know, you got many, many, many beautiful fluorites that weren't too dissimilar from the Minerva mine or from Denton mine. You know, they were very, very great fluorites.
Right.
Often associated with quartz or ferberite or other minerals. In this particular case, this is a really interestingly crystallized cube octahedral crystal, very complex, And when it's on the turntable like it is there, you can kind of see into some windows on some of the facets, some of the natural crystal faces on this particular cluster of fluorite crystals. And you see deep into this fluorite mass. And there's a great phantom crystal within that has a strong, the color on the outside is closer to a blue, a light blue, and in the center there's a really strongly colored darker blue, but also purple phantom within the inside of this mass of fluorite crystals. Just a really interesting, highly lustrous, quite transparent to translucent in areas, but predominantly transparent crystal cluster. And it's a little hard to photograph.
Yes.
This is one of those things that the crystal cluster does not, the individual features of that crystal cluster aren't as obvious in the photographs as they are when you hold it as a three-dimensional object in your hand. But it's quite a lovely piece, and you can see how some of the faces are flat with no additional hillocks or anything, and are like a glassy window looking into the interior of the crystal. And other of the faces have more of a stepped growth of the crystals. Right. And so they're, while the individual steps are highly lustrous, it doesn't let you look into the interior of the crystal as easily as those completely transparent, smooth faces. But a really lovely specimen. And what's the size of this guy?
This one measures 5.7 by 6.5 by 5 centimeters.
So just a little bit of a box buster miniature, just a little small cabinet size specimen.
Yep.
But really attractive. It's really, if you've got a fluorite collection and you want something different than the perfect cubes from Yaogangshan, you want something a little bit crystallized, a little bit more complex fashion, this would be a great specimen to add to your collection. And that phantom is really impressive as you hold this piece. You look into it and study the crystallization internal to it. Really a pretty piece.
Yep. You really got to hold it in your hand. And for only $375, it's easy to do.
Yep. That's right.
Absolutely.
Beautiful piece.
Happy to get this sent out to you.
Yep. A nice small cabinet piece.
Yep. Let's see here. We'll get back to... I think we're... Yep, there we go.
And the last
screen there.
The last specimen is one of my personal favorites lately.
Color is so unique.
It really is. I mean, we set up Richard and I set up a lot of show displays of mineral specimens, and it's fun. That's one of the great things about working at the Collector's Edge is each and every day we get to play with world-class mineral specimens, and that's a really a great opportunity. I bless myself every day for the opportunity to play with these rocks.
Right.
But every once in a while, when you're putting a display case up, you go, well, gee, I wish I had a rhodochrosite here, because it draws your eye to the beauty of that cherry red color of the rhodochrosite, or other species that have extremely intense color, like cavensites on a shelf. Your eye goes to the cavensight. Your eye goes to the rhodo. And I would say that when you have really bright, vibrant yellow specimens, your eye goes to those species as well.
Right.
And these are fairly new. They've been out, 2 years now?
Sounds
perhaps,
right.
Something about like that.
Yep.
But they're just incredible things. I mean, I've been a mineral collector since the 1970s. 1972 I started. And you saw brucite, and it was normally gray or off-white or maybe a little light green or a light blue. These things started coming out of Pakistan, and I'm going to slaughter the pronunciation of the district.
I wouldn't
try. Kairan district in Baluchistan in Pakistan. But we started seeing these a couple years ago, and I'm going, these things are lemon yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where in the world do you get those? I was going, well, maybe they came across some dye or something. You know? I was going, man, this is some cool stuff.
Right.
And sure enough, the deposit has produced many, many superb specimens, and they're just incredible in that they have a kind of a pearly luster on the surface. They tend to form these globular masses, and with really nice bright luster and a lemon yellow color. And in this piece, there's some nice contrast with the colorless brucite next to the lemon yellow brucite. And they're just amazing mineral specimens. And there's some translucency you can see in Richard's still photo that's coming up. You can see the translucency at the edges of the mass. And it's just... they're really amazing mineral specimens, and they're very affordable. These, unlike the tourmalines and aquamarines and other things that have come out of Pakistan and Afghanistan that, might be the equivalent to your BMW or whatever.
Sure.
These are extremely affordable, and really, on a worldwide scale for the species, they're just incredible examples of brucite. So I would encourage you, if you collect worldwide colorful specimens, I would definitely encourage you to get a nice one of these brucites. And we just got another batch of these in. We had some mounted over at Sunnywood Collection recently, and they're just killers. And this is a piece out of an earlier lot that we got, and they clean up beautifully. Great luster, great color contrast between the white brucite and the bright lemon yellow. I'd strongly encourage you taking a look at getting this piece. What's the size of this one, Rich?
This one measures 5.1 by 6.2 by 4.2 centimeters.
Yep, and the lemon yellow brucite mass is about 3 centimeters across. So very sculptural, very attractive, and a really good price.
That's a really good deal. Let's get to that. With no further ado, $150.
Yep. So you're getting a full-size miniature specimen. It's even a little bigger than a miniature, 6.2 across, for only $150.
Right.
And it's absolutely beautiful. You won't regret owning this piece. It's really, really lovely. And if you're looking for something larger, or you're looking for something more complex, we have a nice deep inventory of these, and we'd be happy to send you photos of others as well.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today, and thanks Richard for all the hard work of putting this together every week. No problem. We're glad we're back in the swing of doing this on a weekly basis.
Well, one more week, and then there'll be another slight hiatus. But apologize for that.
Yeah, we'll be a little tied up.
We will be a little tied up.
Yeah. So
it's okay.
It's okay.
By the end of June, we'll be back in the saddle again.
There you go. Well, it's been a lot of fun on air with you today, Richard.
Thank you.
And I hope that everybody gets their orders in as soon as possible, because there's a lot of great things on this show. What was your favorite? Do you have a favorite out of this?
Gosh, I didn't want to say anything during the show, but this little guy for $190, and if it were mine, I would trim off this little back part and
then you have
have that kind of going like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, so...
and that little piece was only $190. Having seen a fair number of those quartz and pyrite from Shangbao, this piece is stupid good.
Right.
I mean, a lot of them had issues everywhere. This one's real 360-degree specimen, nice quality pyrite in association with these quartz masses.
Right.
I just think it's a beautiful thing. Very sculptural. I would love to own that as well.
And the color was really hard to present on the show here, both on the turntable and in my still pictures. It's a lot better in your hand.
Yeah. So anyway,
the sunlight, and it just glows.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for watching today, and I'll let you sign off, Rich.
We'll be back next week. Phil's going to be with us next week doing a presentation. Don't know what the subject matter is yet. You can probably still influence that if you want. Send us an email in the next couple of days and ask Phil to do something special.
Yeah.
So
that'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Phil always does a great job with us.
He does. So thank you, Steve.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, viewers. And we'll catch you again next week on another episode of Minerals Live. Oh, we didn't really talk about this, did we?
No, we didn't.
You know, the SpaceX thing going this afternoon. When they light that candle, hope everything goes well.
Yep, we're wishing them all the best.
Absolutely. So anyway, thanks, everybody, and we'll catch you next week.